Hey folks, retired old soldier, 1987. Last we talked, I talked about our first procedure at our first mission in Talifar, up closer to the Syrian border. And that went pretty well. And then we went on to have another surgical procedure. That was our first mission. So I think it lasted about a month or 2 months, and that's pretty good. During our first mission, sorry about that. I got some word about my son, my youngest, who was acting out at home. Kind of put me off a little bit. I had some issues there that I needed to work through, and talking with the wife, and we got that straightened out. But another thing that happened, it was kind of good, was it came time for my mid-tour leave. So anybody who goes overseas for a year, they get a mid-tour leave. You get 2 weeks of leave, and you can take it, depending on your unit and what's going on in the missions, you can take your leave and head back home. And the government pays for it. They pay to fly you back home, get you to where you need to be, do your 2 weeks at home, and then you come back and you finish your tour. So I hit during my first mission, towards the end of the first mission, it ended up coming time for my mid-tour leave. So I headed out and I headed home, and I came back to Indiana to see the family. And when it's interesting, in that 2 week time frame, that first mission turned into, they shut everything down in Talifar, moved it all back, or they were going to move back to Crit, but it turns out they had a follow-on mission in Ramadi. So Camp Ramadi was our next mission. So, and I was going to be part of that mission also, being the NCOIC of the operating room. So when I came back from my mid-tour leave, it was funny because I kind of crossed paths with the folks heading to Ramadi in the ADAC. So as I was coming back from the States, they were getting ready to get on a helicopter to head to Ramadi, which was kind of weird. I didn't even realize it was going on, because when I came back from my mid-tour leave, I was just like, I'm not going to pay attention. I got enough going on. Let me just focus on the family, get home, do my mid-tour leave. And seeing them in the ADAC was kind of weird. But, it happens. So that was the mid-tour leave. And, I'll tell you a little bit more about Camp Ramadi in my next video. So if you folks like what I'm putting out, if you like the content, by all means, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, tell your friends about my channel, drop some comments down below. Tell me about your times in the ADAC. I don't know, everybody's a little bit different, especially depending on which ADAC they're at. And until my next video, have a good one.